Hey, what's up, everyone? This is David Greenspan, and you are listening to an all-new Season 3 of the Mindshare Podcast, a proud member of the Industry Syndicate Media Network. Additional podcasts are available at mindshare101.com and on all the major podcast platforms. This week's episode is sponsored by Kits Keep in Touch Systems. Kits offers a fully loaded cross-channel marketing suite for the real estate industry, including tools to help you manage your business, build mindshare, and drive even more sales. You can learn more on my site, mindshare101.com, by clicking on Marketing. And as you know, we are on a push to 100 reviews on iTunes. And so I'd like to ask you, if you haven't yet, please take 2 minutes to go to iTunes, rate the show, leave a review. It really is that easy. And let me say thank you in advance. Today's episode is number 134. She is a designer of futures, an educator, an international real estate woman of influence, and admittedly, a pizza lover. A single mother of two, she has over 15 years of real estate experience as an agent, former team leader and manager, and 20 years of personal and organizational transformational training experience tucked firmly under her belt. Over the past decade, she has fused her two sides together, and the result? She has emerged as a sought-after trainer, workshop leader, and speaker with a proven track record of helping agents and entrepreneurs achieve unprecedented results. Through her workshops and seminars, she inspires realtors, entrepreneurs, and business leaders to actually design their own futures by creating a vision of the life they want to live and a game plan to get them there. She says, you can let life happen, or you can design the life you want to live. The choice is yours. This week on the show, joining us all the way from Sicily, Italy, is Alex Lombardi. Ciao, Alex. Benvenuto to the Mindshare Podcast.
Good morning, buongiorno. Oh, if I can get my microphone there we go. Buongiorno a tutti quanti. Buongiorno, good morning, good afternoon. It's evening here in Italy, but thank you so much. It's amazing to be here. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, I know. You know, like the cool. First of all, did you like the little Italian I threw in there for you?
I did. I really liked it.
I tried. I was like, oh man.
You're honorary because of Jen.
I know. I'm thinking like the other half of my family might be like, Dave, don't ever do that again. But hey, you know, it's been like 17, 18, maybe 20. Geez, I don't know. 21,
in case nobody believes me that I'm in
years
Italy.
with my wife.
In case nobody believes me that I'm actually in Italy, there's the Italian ambulance fire sirens going there. I know that's the symbolic Italian sound.
Tell us exactly where you are right now. Tell like, where are you? I said Italy, tell us more.
Yeah. So I am in Sicily. Precisely, I'm in Modica. So Modica is a city in the province of Ragusa, which is in the southernmost tip of Sicily. I'm about an hour and a half away from the Catania airport, and Modica is actually an UNESCO town. It's recognized as a very historic town. So it has a lot of history. I've got I'm 5 minutes from the historic center. This town is known as the town of 100 churches. And one of the things on my list before I get here is I'm going to go and visit every single one. And then just behind me is the beach. About a 10-minute drive from me is the beach, because Sicily is this beautiful little island with fabulous beaches. And I'm sitting on my balcony right now of the apartment that I'm currently living in.
You got to love technology. You're sitting amongst 100 different churches. You got beaches behind you. And of course, we're all just back here working away, you know. Enjoy, Alex.
It took me a lot of work to get here, David. So
I know. I know it did. I know it did. And you know what? You deserve every ounce of it. In fact, I want to bring light to something, and we'll talk more about this in a few. So I'm not going to get into details about it, but I want everybody to check out Alex's Future by Design video series. When you talk about those churches and you talk about the scenery, you know, obviously today it was very important, as I talked about, and I sort of drilled into Alex. I'm like, please, quiet place, good camera, good internet. But we've seen your video series, and it is wicked, wicked, wicked. So I want to talk more about that in just a moment. But tell us, what are you doing in Italy right now? Because I mean, there's something to be said about, like, first of all, how'd you're there, we're here. But I mean, the whole thing around, you're still working. I love this. Tell us.
Yeah. So I've been selling, actually just celebrated on Sunday, June 6th, just this past Sunday. I celebrated 15 years as a real estate sales representative working in this amazing industry. And I'm in Italy now, working for Remax brokerage. I can tell I'm a Remax agent. Here's my little balloon. But I'm working for a Remax brokerage in Sicily in training and development for his agents and his offices. The brokerage that I'm working with right now is called Remax Prima Classe, which means first class. And we have 4 offices here in the province of Ragusa. Actually, tomorrow, Andrea is going to sign a contract for the 5th office in another region here, which is also part of what I'm helping him do, is to do a little bit of business development. I'm working with his agents because this guy is, I mean, he's 40 years old, the broker of the agency, and he's just so forward thinking. And he wants to bring as much as he can, as many tools as he can to his agents. They love the North American way of working. So I'm just down here doing some training and some helping agents one-on-one with business planning, team development, something that I've been dreaming of doing and working on doing in the last for the last 2 years in my real estate business. But the whole thing started when I was just a little girl, and if you ask me, maybe I'll get a chance to tell. Well, this is
okay. Too. So I want to get right into that because straight up off the line that I read off just a moment ago here, and I'm going to read it one more time here. You can let life happen, or you can design the life that you want to live. The choice is yours. I absolutely love it. I know, and I imagine many people here may know, and if you don't, you're about to know, but you just launched your newest program, Future by Design, which is an intensive workshop where attendees learn both how to design the future they want to live and get the step-by-step for how to get there. Now, of course, without teaching the course today, tell us more, though, what is it all about? And again, what's that backstory? Like, how did we get to where we are right now?
Okay, so I'll start with the backstory, and then I'll tell you a little bit about Future by Design and what that's all about. But when I was, I was born in Italy. I was born in Rome. Yeah. I was baptized at the Vatican, and I'm supposed to tell people that. Somebody said to me, you can't tell people that. So I was born in Rome. It's pretty big. Yeah, I have a whole official baptismal certificate and everything like that. Anyways, I was born in Rome, and my family came to Canada, or went to Canada. Came when I was just under 4 years old. And we, as most Italian immigrant families did, they worked hard and not like now, if you didn't have $1, you just didn't buy stuff. And my father worked very hard to pay off our first home. And 12 years after we landed in Canada, we took our first trip to Italy as a family and spent the summer there. And on that vacation, I met a friend of my father's. We were having dinner one night, our families, and this woman came into the restaurant we were eating at, and she was, she had this beautiful briefcase, and she was well dressed, and all her hair pulled back, and the glasses, and she was just well spoken, and she kind of floated in, and then she stayed with us for about 15 minutes, and then she left. And when she left, I looked at her father and I said, "What does she do for a living?" And he said to me, "She's an international lawyer. She works with corporations and she travels around the world, and she helps, people with," she's a lawyer, right? And I was like, "Oh, that's what I want to do." I didn't even know. I mean, I'm 17 years old. I had no idea. Like, I was a good student and stuff, but I had no ambitions really for how I wanted to, what I wanted to get into. And I saw this woman and I said, right there, that was born in my brain, that I wanted to work in business and I wanted to travel. And here I am, 30 years later, an international businesswoman. I have been working with the Remax Network in Italy, referring people that want to buy and sell properties in Italy to agents here. I created this referral network in 2014. I went to Las Vegas. I met the owner of the region. I went to Las Vegas to meet the owner of the region of Remax Italia, the owner of the franchise in Italy, and basically bulldozed the guy and told him, "Hey, I live in Canada. I'm Italian. This is the situation, and this is what I want to do, and I think I can help people buy and sell properties." And
hold on, I'm going to pause you for 1 second. Apologize. So my question there, and because I think there's a good learning moment right there. You went there. Did he know you were coming to see him?
No.
Okay, I love that. You see, and for everybody tuned in right now, pay attention to that one. He didn't know. You could throw up, Alex, you could have thrown up every excuse and every barrier in the world to why that wouldn't have worked, but you didn't. and you did it, and you did it. And so for everybody else, it's exactly that simple. Do not overcomplicate this process. I have done the same thing many times. I will get on a plane. I will go somewhere I know could be in an event. I know somebody's speaking. I'm going to make sure I meet them. It is on my radar, and I'm going to do what I got to do to make it happen. So when you put that fortitude forward, which you did, that's how you get the things you want in life. And forgive me for interrupting you, but I thought that was an important moment there.
I'm glad you did it. And I'll tell you one more thing. So I went to Las Vegas, and it was a 4-day conference, and somebody told me that they were going to introduce me to this guy. So day 1, and we'll meet him tomorrow, and day 2, and then he's busy, we'll do it tomorrow. And then it was day 3, and I'm like, hey, I came to Las Vegas to meet this guy. And I was outside of the marketplace, this big trade show that they have in Las Vegas at the convention, and I saw him standing there. So I was like, what am I going to wait for somebody to, and I literally charged the guy. Like, he didn't know what hit him. He's like, who is this lady, right? And I'm like, my name is Alex Lombardi, and this is what I said, I want to come to Milan and talk to you about this. So he said, okay. So that was the beginning of March 15. And then at the end of March, I was in Milan sitting in his boardroom with his corporate lawyer, creating collaboration documents, because I wanted to go through Italy and do this process. But I also, I tell my kids all the time, and I talk about this in the workshop too, if you're going to do something, put yourself in a position to win, right? So I could have rented a car, started at the top of Italy. It would have been a fun adventure. And I could have just traveled and gone along and, stopped in at all the Remax offices, because I had done that in the past in my travels in Italy. But I wanted his endorsement, because I knew if I had his endorsement, first of all, nobody would cheat me or, try to mess with me. And number 2, because I thought it's going to be easier. So I've learned in my life that you can do things 2 ways. You can do them the hard way, and you can do them the easy way. And when I was younger when I was, more, probably stupider, I was like, what, I'm going to do it the hard way, because there's more satisfaction. I'll tell you right now, you get just as much satisfaction doing it the easy way. So now I just try to do
what you know then, or what you know now that you should have known then, or whatever.
Exactly. So that's when the whole so I went to Milan, and, and I started working with agents down in Italy by referral. So, when I'm back home, I'm kind of the go-to person for anything that has to do with Italian real estate. So my colleagues will often call me and say, hey, I have somebody that wants to buy a property in Italy or sell a property in Italy. And so I just connect the agents in Italy with the buyers in Canada or the sellers in Canada. And then I act as a go-between, and I make a little referral fee. And I worked on building that. But then I realized very quickly that, as a real estate agent in Toronto, with the average price of a home over $1 million, it's not the most lucrative business to be, the average price of a home down here is, if you hit €100,000, which is about $150,000 Canadian. And so, I also realized that it wasn't even an income thing, but there was always this passion inside of me to want to teach and learn. And I remember when I was traveling in Italy in it was 2016, I think. I took a trip to the Amalfi Coast, and I visited an island by the name of Ischia, which is a little known jewel. Everybody goes to Capri, but Ischia is definitely somewhere to get to. And I was talking about this last night with my friends. I distinctly remember sitting on the balcony of my apartment with my feet up on this, cement wall, looking over the ocean with the Amalfi Coast in front of me, and I could see the Vesuvio volcano, and I'm looking out, and I got my feet up, and I said, you know what? I have to figure something out that I can sit here and work on my computer and be able to coach and train people from Italy. And at the time there was no Zoom, it was Skype, right?
Yeah.
But I remember I created that for myself, and here I am now. I'm literally doing that. So when you asked me earlier, what are you doing here? What I'm doing here is, I told you, I'm working for a brokerage and training and business development. But what I'm actually doing here is I'm living my dreams. I'm fulfilling on a dream that I had when I was 17 years old. And that's what my life is all about. And that's what Future by Design is all about. It's about creating a life worth living. And the only life worth living is one that's full of your passions and desires and the things that you love. And that's all inside of your dreams. And that's what we talk about in the program.
Well, and I love it. And that we've had many conversations about that. I think it's powerful because I think that so many of us dream about having, we dream about being, we dream about going. And oftentimes that's all it is a dream, and we never really put it into action. We never bring it out of the subconscious and make it conscious. We don't action it the right way. And I know that everything you're trying to teach people, and even sharing the backstory that we just did to try to give people this idea of, where did this come from and why are you so passionate about, why are you so driven to do this? The next step becomes actually taking the steps to put it into action, right? And really bringing it to life. And, that's not something that has come easy to you. That is not something that has come without the effort or the time that you've put in, and even the sacrifices that come along with it. I'm sure you would agree with that. But I guess the question in this becomes, the step by step of it all, right? I guess what are some of those I don't know, lack of better words, bogeys, those points that I've got to watch for, that say, hey, what do I have to do to actually design this life that I want to live? So I've got this dream. What do I have to watch for in life, or what little checkpoints do I need to watch for and map out to say, okay, I'm going to go there now? Did that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I want to start by, if you look up the definition of dream in the dictionary or you Google it or whatever, a dream is an idea not founded in reality. And if I swear to God, if I had Webster's phone number, I'd call him and make him change it, because I don't believe that. I don't believe that a dream is an idea that is not founded in reality. Anything that you want to create has to first exist in your mind. It has to be a thought, right? And a dream is, well, remember Cinderella? A dream is a wish your heart makes, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a dream is a thought that has a feeling behind it that makes you feel good. My whole preaching, if you want to call it, or my whole claim to fame is like, who you're being in the present is given by the future that's coming at you. Okay, so that doesn't make sense. I'm going to say it again. So who you're being in the present, who we're being today, is given by the future that's coming at you. So we think that we are the way that we are because of our past experiences, our education, our upbringing, our schooling, the friends that we have, the people that are behind us. I say that's not true. I say that who you're being in the present has nothing to do with that, and everything to do with what's coming at you in the future. If you don't believe me, book a trip. You can book a trip, especially now. I guarantee you guys, book a trip now for October. And the second that you put that deposit down, you're smiling, you're happy, you're shopping for bikinis or wherever it is that you're going, right?
No bikinis.
Because no bikinis for you. But who you're being is all about what's coming at you, that thing coming at you in the future called 7 days and wherever, a month and wherever you're going to be. And the same thing is true when you get there and you're at like day 7 of the trip. And it's like, oh, tomorrow I got to go home. And immediately you're in paradise. And immediately you're like, oh, tomorrow I got to go home. So who you're being in the present is given by that future, which is going back to work, going back to the kids, going back to wherever it is you're going back to, right?
I love this, yeah.
So I don't know if everybody knows this, but I figured this out because I'm a smart chick. We're all going to the future. Everybody. Okay? Since we're going there, and since everything that's out there is going to have us be who we're being in the moment, I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend my moment being miserable, upset, tired, disillusioned. I want my experience of life to be like sitting on the edge of a roller coaster, always thrilled. Like, I get it. Stuff happens. I won't swear. Stuff happens. I almost let it go. Things happen in your life.
We
that's
speak
life.
French, not just Italian over here. Okay.
Exactly. Right. This is like things go the way that they go. Right. But for the most part, I've had a lot of struggling and suffering in my life. Like I have, like a lot of people have. And I don't like that. Nobody likes that. I want my life experience to be enjoyable. And I mean, there were times in my career, I'm really, well, I say I'm lucky. Like, you roll up your sleeves and luck kind of happens. Isn't that weird? But when I started in this business, like I hit the ground running. I mean, I did 20 transactions my first year, GCI 246, right? I'm not saying that to brag or to impress people, to impress upon people. right? These are the goal. And then the next year was more and more. And then I got to a point, I had a team, I was making close to $500,000 a year, and I didn't have a life, and I see people in this business and other businesses making a whole lot of money, and then they're divorced and they're overweight and their kids don't talk to them. They don't go to soccer games. Like, balance is not there for them. And the experience of life is not that great. So, to your question, your dreams, what are the mile markers? What do you want? Like, your dreams are full of the things that you love. So I have, and in the Future by Design program,
which I want to mention as you say that one of our Mindshare Masters just put in the chat that Alex's dream workshop is amazing and it is highly recommended.
Thank you.
Just had to throw that out there in case you didn't see that.
Thank you. No, I did see that, but I was waiting for you to say it. But yeah, it's funny because I saw who typed that. And when she came to my first program, or my second program, because the first program we did live and then we've been doing them virtually ever since. But when she came, she said, this better not be all foofy and foofy stuff. I don't want it to be foofy stuff, right? And at the end, she said, thank God it wasn't foofy, because it sounds like that, right?
Recommended, right? Yeah, no, for sure.
There you go. So one of the things that we do, the tool that I use in the Future by Design workshop is we create a dream book, and we create a book of 50 things that you want to do before you die. And then the practice or the premise that I've put into place in my life is every time I accomplish one of those dreams, I rip it out of the book. On the back of the book, on the back of the dream, I write the day that I accomplished it, how it made me feel, what I did to accomplish the dream, and how it made me feel. And then I put it in the back of the book. So I have this little book that I carry around with me everywhere. It's right there right now. And that is all of my dreams and all of my dreams fulfilled. And every time, like I said, I accomplish one, I replace it with another one. So I'm constantly thinking about, when I accomplish a dream, what am I going to do next? And the life that I'm living is that book. Like, you can't have 50 dreams and then say your life sucks and it's boring, right? Go get your book, open your book. Those things are full of your passions and your desires and, the things that you want to accomplish. Some of those things in my book, I don't even know what they're going to look like, right? And then it's the fulfillment that you feel when you look at your life as, my life is full of my dreams and everything that I've done. Like, people say to me, you're a dreamer. Good. I feel sorry for you if you're not. Yeah. The thing is, when you say dream, it sounds kind of foofy, right? But it's not a dream like something to get to. That's what you love. That's what you want. Anybody that's watching right now, like, just even, it's hard to come up with 50, because then we have all of our limiting beliefs and all of the things that are fears and all of these morals and values that we've carried around with us for our life, or that people have thrown upon us.
What do you say to people in that? If I'm, because again, I'll give you that foofy, and I've said this many times publicly and privately and to everybody and anybody, so I got no fear in saying that, but years ago, and I will be very clear about that, years ago, when it was time to set goals, I said, yeah, whatever, I just want to make $1 bajillion and take over the world, right? Now, how do you really bring that to life? And then all of a sudden, you want to talk limited beliefs, like, yeah, I make $1 bajillion to take over the world. Whatever, can we get past this part of the course? But I realized at one point when it hit me, how important it was to set those goals. And as we've talked about many times, you need to know where there is if you want to get there. And so speaking of there, when we look at dreams is there. So why would you not believe you can get there? And what do you say to people when they're like, ooh, I don't know if I make $1 bajillion. Like, I'm not going to write that down. What do you say?
I don't know if you know this guy. Maybe you know this guy. His name's Walt Disney. You know that guy?
Oh, I heard of that guy.
You heard of that guy? Yeah.
He started a little company, didn't he?
Started a little company.
Yeah.
So Walt Disney says, if you can dream it, you can do it. Right?
Enough said.
So you create it, and then if you believe that if you can dream it, you can do it, then all that there is like, listen, whenever we set a goal or whenever we create some kind of an objective, you're here, the goal is here. Mm-hmm. And, the first thing we say is, well, there's all these things missing. Like, I got to get here, all these steps. Great. Make a list, make a to-do list. You're here, you got to get here. If you're at the bottom of the stairs and you got to get to the top of the stairs, I don't know anybody that says, well, I'm just going to skip over and just jump to the top. Like, you got to do the steps, right? So in the workshop, I actually talk about a process called the science of dreams fulfilled. And we go through step by step how to put things into place so that you can, no matter what the dream is, I can take any dream. I swear to God, David, I can take any dream that anybody gives me. I don't care how crazy it is. If you're willing to work with me, I'll help you create a game plan, because you're the one that taught me this. You can't get anywhere without a map.
You know it. You know how it goes though. But living that, look what you've achieved, right? Yeah. Like, look what you're achieving for yourself. And I love that. That's a powerful statement, the way you said that, of guaranteeing that we can map out anybody's dream. And I think everybody's got to run with that. I think that everybody's got to look into, what the course is, find out more about it, learn more, connect with Alex. If you guys don't know Alex, you are getting to know Alex, but you got to spend time and follow her on Instagram and everything to see the energy that comes from her and the knowledge, and really the passion to do better. And speaking of passion, you've got a driving passion to empower women, and really anyone, in fact, to design, the life they want to live. But why is that message around even empowering women so important for you? And I don't want to say that or ask the question in a way where it doesn't make sense to me. Obviously it does, but just to sort of get it from your side, because I know that, again, this is one of your driving forces.
Yeah, well, I mean, I went through a lot of the things that a woman will go through as far as challenges go. Like, I got married at a very young age, and then I was divorced at a very young age, 27 years old, 2 small kids, single mom, working 4 jobs, had some very, very difficult and challenging times. Like, there were times when I, couldn't feed my children, and I was too embarrassed to tell my mom. So I was, I was eating tuna out of a can. There's a couple of people that have heard that story, right? But I know that as a woman, because I am one, there are different things that we go through. And I just feel like I really can get a guy too, right? Because fundamentally human beings are designed the same way. But I see women, especially young women, that are so suppressed and that are so trying to figure out how to do things the way that the status quo says that they're supposed to do them. And I've never lived my life like that, like, ever. And it was hard. And I think the best way to teach people, the best way to show people anything is to do it by example. You talk about the video series and you talk about following me on Instagram and things like that, or Facebook, or whatever the case may be, on YouTube. But when I decided to come here, I could have just come here. My friends knew I was coming. My clients knew I was coming. I'm still working from here. Mm-hmm. But thank God for technology, right?
Yeah, right.
But I also saw an opportunity. I saw an opportunity to really tell and demonstrate to people that I'm not just talking about something like, oh, create a dream and then it's going to happen, or make your steps and it's going to happen. And by the way, if anybody's thinking, oh, that was a great idea, I'm going to go make a dream book like Alex said I should do, there's a whole conversation. Like, we don't even start. It's a 6-hour workshop. We don't even start working on the dream list until the 5th hour of the workshop.
Oh, you got to dig the hole, put the foundation, the foot, and then you can start to build. And there's obviously, yeah, of course.
Because we got to get all that other crap out of the way, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to show people by example, because I believe this, David, to every cell in my being. When I see people upset, when I see people not living life and not feeling, because people are so numb. It actually bothers me. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm getting goosebumps. I feel like I want to be responsible for the happiness of everybody in the world. And as much as I can, I might not get to the whole world, but I'm going to, I'll try to get to at least half. I want people to be happy. I want the world to work. If people are happy around me, then my life works. We think, I'm going to work on myself and then I'm going to go and have a great life. No, work on the world, work on what's outside of you. And then by default, everything will work for you. So I see women, especially young women, kind of growing into this, whatever they think that they're supposed to be. And I'm not okay with that. I want people to see, listen, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. My mother was a seamstress. We were immigrants. My father was a taper. They worked really hard. I had to pay for my own school. I had to pay for my own car. I was not born into greatness. But I knew it was inside of me, and I believe it's inside of everybody. And the reason why we're not all demonstrating our greatness is because we don't believe it in ourselves. And sometimes nobody's telling us. So I'm going to tell people, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, right? Watch me. And so I'm documenting this whole thing because, listen, no bones about it. And you and I talked about this the first week, right? I got here and I was like, what the, like, what's going, I mean, all of the challenges that I go through, I'm not sugarcoating this thing. Like I moved to another country. I'm here for probably another, 2 or 3 months. Right. And, it's not easy. There's culture shock. It seems nice. I'm in Italy. I'm going to climbing Mount Etna and riding in the back of a motorcycle and all these fun things. But there's a lot of stuff that goes behind it called life. And I want people to know these are the challenges that you go through when you take something on, right? And the fulfillment that you get from it, I can't even tell you, like, I have never felt, I wake up in the morning with a giddy. Like I've got a smile. I can't believe it.
So excited. You're making my cheeks hurt today because there's so much backstory that goes beyond all this conversation here that, anyways, it's amazing. And as you say, not born into greatness, but when you were born, greatness was born. Right?
Yes.
Tell me this. So we just mentioned that, being there for 2-3 months and really life is back here in Canada.
Yeah.
But you have managed to make life in Italy as well. And so, look, you're a top producing realtor. Like we know the volume you're doing and we don't have to talk like all your private stuff here, but you do some wicked volume back here. And you also managed to do a lot of business, in that part of the world. How do you manage to take 3 months off from one place, go to another country, teach, mentor, and still run your business? Like, what are you doing to stay on top of everything that needs to get done throughout each day? Because that's a lot. I mean, listen, we talk about the technology, we talk about everything else going on, and we're sitting here at home and we know how much we have on our plates in a regular day. Never mind, you're like, let me just throw another country and all that work onto it as well. And we got this. Oh, yeah, you want me to be a big guest on the podcast? No problem. Go to the beach and be on a motorcycle. We got this. I mean, love it, love it, love it. And I think there's a lot of people right now going, how does she do that?
So, well, the one thing that I have working in my favor is the time difference. That's for sure.
Tack on another 6 hours to your day.
I got an extra 6 hours added to my day, right?
You guys want to talk about finding like more than 24 hours in a day? She just managed to figure out how it works.
I'm telling you. I always tell people one of the other programs that I'm working on now too is a time management program actually. And in the program I say, I ask God for 20, if there's 24 hours in a day, I ask God for more. He said no. And I was like, well, I don't know about that, God. You have not met me yet.
Oh, it's amazing, eh?
So, okay, well, I mean,
so far we've argued God and Webster's Dictionary. Keep going. I love this. This is why you're my people right here.
Yeah. So first of all, yes, the time difference. Number one. Number two, planning and scheduling. And you taught me this. Like I started working with you last year and there's 2 huge areas that you impacted in my life. And one of them was the area of time management. So I manage my time. I schedule my time, even though I'm in Italy and I'm working. Like I get up, guys, I'm up at 6:30 every morning, like 6:30 anyways. The office opens at 9, but I'm in the office at 8, I go for a coffee in the morning, first to the bar. And then I have a cornetto, and then I go to the office. So I get to the office between 8:15 and 8:30 in the morning. They open at 9. They close for lunch at 1 o'clock. They open again at 3:30. And then they're open from 3:30 till 7 o'clock. And sometimes because I'm traveling between offices, I normally don't get home till, I got off a little early tonight to do this, but normally I'm 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm not home till around that time. So I had to, I'm still doing my income producing activities with my clients. Like I'm reaching out to my clients, I'm calling my clients, I'm emailing them, I'm sending them messages, I'm spending time connecting with them in the different ways that I know to connect with them. And I planned that before I left. So before I came to Italy, I took my calendar and I planned out, okay, here's the time difference, because it is also, I'm saying it's an advantage that there's a time difference, but it's also a challenge because
for sure.
My lunch break at 1 o'clock is, 7 o'clock in the morning. I ain't going to be doing, calling my clients because I don't think they'll be really happy about that. So time management is the one thing. And then I'm a hard worker, I got no bones of you want the results, you got to do the work. So that's the second thing is I work really hard. And then the third thing is I put myself in a position to win. So I have people back home that are taking care of, an agent back home that's taking care of my business while I'm gone. I got a call actually 2 days ago from a client of mine who knows I'm in Italy because I'm not hiding out over here. Everybody knows that I'm here. I made sure that my clients knew that I was available. I'm demonstrating that because I'm still reaching out to them and they know I'm here. And, they're picking up the phone going, aren't you in Italy? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in Italy, but I'm still here. I'm still watching your business.
The importance of look at that. You told them what was going on. You were definitely transparent with them. You're there. You're still communicating with them. They see that it's there. A lot of people are probably questioning, wasn't that a roadblock though that you left and they're back here? You're proving that it's not. No,
it's not. It's not because, again, I let them know. I'm still staying in touch with them. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually, so tomorrow I have time slotted in my calendar to do every quarter I send out a market evaluation of the area. I do a comparative market analysis, let my clients know what's going on in the area. And I've done that religiously in my business for the last 6 years. Now I do it with video, and I'm going to do it with Italy behind me and say, hey, I'm here in Italy. I just want to let you know that I still got my eye on the market because we can. Yeah. We can with technology. Yeah. We've got DocuSign. The truth is I was doing most of my stuff virtually even before I came to Italy anyway. Right. The fourth thing, which is also very important, is when I knew that I was coming here, I ramped up I basically pushed my goal forward. Mm-hmm. So I created an annual goal when I did my business plan with you in December and or in November, actually, because that's when I do my business plan. Yeah. And I said to myself, I got to hit at least 50% of my goal before I leave. I left on May 20th, and I knew I was going to be here for 3 or 4 months. When I get back, I'll have September, October, November, a little bit of December, and then I'll be back here again at the end of December or beginning of January. And I made sure that I hit my goal. So I created my roadmap for hitting my goals so that I could hit 50% of my goal by the first 25% of the year. And it's that's what I created. And then there's actions. It didn't happen like magic.
No, effort, right? Effort. It took a lot of effort, a lot of planning, a lot of dedication to the process. But you did it. And you killed it.
And you know what? I did. I hit 53.8% of my goal this year, which is, I'll just say 53.8% of my goal this year is almost 75% of what I did last year.
Oh, it's a big goal.
So I ramped up my business. Yeah. I didn't say I'm going to Italy, so I got to make less, my goal has to be lower, because I believe that you can have it all. You just have to figure out a way to do it.
And the other thing I want to add in there is you did not take your foot off the gas. at all. Like it was, as I like to say, hand on the throttle, but you didn't. And that's something also that's important to just share that message to everybody there is, call it booking the vacation or the time off. And Alex said it, and we all know it. You want to get busy, go book time away. All of a sudden, everything starts turning. But there was that opportunity there for a moment to say, okay, I'm getting closer to my goals, or I'm passing what I wanted to do. I can get a little bit complacent. I'm going to take my foot off the gas. I'm going to go start focusing on like going away. You didn't do that. Like you were still motoring all the way through. In fact, walking through the airport, you were still motoring, doing your thing. And I know recording videos and doing everything. And quite frankly, with that, you're doing a lot of video. And I mean, I mentioned off the top, I love the new Future Wide Design series that you've been doing. And I want everybody to pay attention to that because I think that, never mind just the background of where you are. That is like, oh, where is she now? It's so cool to see. But seriously, more to the point is the depth of the message that is coming from you and how genuine and authentic it is. And we know that there's a lot of people that want to get more involved with video, take that step to really build their brand, but not everybody's really comfortable with it, right? And I mean, it's totally normal. But I guess, we talked a little bit about that series, but I figure I'd give the opportunity to maybe talk a little bit more about that series. And what I really want to know is, how did you settle into a place where you felt confident enough to put yourself out there, get on video, and then just straight up keep up with the consistency of it all? Because as we both know, and I can say it, and you can now say it for sure, and anybody else who's very, very consistent with their video knows it, it's not about one video.
No. Well, exactly. And that's the thing, because, first of all, start what you finish, right? If you're not going to finish, don't even bother starting. That's number one. Number two, I think the thing that's got me motivated is because it means something to me. I'm not just on there. Like I watch, I'm not criticizing or anything like that, but I watch what a lot of agents and people are doing online in terms of video. And some of it's really entertaining. It's fun to watch. But like, what's the message? I believe in the message. I believe in what it is that I'm doing. Like I said, Future by Design. So every Friday a video comes out. They've been coming out since 2 weeks before the journey started. And the whole point is to document the journey, which is, going through the ups and downs of my travel here or my journey here, and letting people know, like when you're on the road to accomplish a dream or a goal, things come up. And sometimes it's good days and sometimes it's bad days. And that's what I talk about. And really it is like, I don't have it planned in terms of, this is what I'm going to talk about this week. This is what I'm going to talk about next week. I have it scheduled. I have it in my schedule that I've got to shoot my video on Thursday and edit it on Friday. But what's pushing me to keep doing it is, first of all, like I said, it means something to me. And I know that what I'm delivering is delivering value to people. I know it because I know it inherently. And then I know it because I'm getting all kinds of messages from people, like just, somebody sent me a message the other day and said, you don't know me, but I've been watching your videos. And yesterday I did something that I never would have done. And now I have this result in my life that I never would have had if I never would have watched it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's going to make, I don't feel like I want to go to the beach. I don't want to shoot my video tomorrow. I get excited about it. And so tomorrow I'm shooting my video, and today I start thinking, like throughout the week, I'm thinking like, what's my experience? What's going on for me right now? Because that's what I'm sharing. And I'm sharing authentically what's going on for me. I do a little bit of prep for it as well, because I want to be responsible that if somebody's going to take 5 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever to listen to me, that I want to give them some value. So the consistency is easy to keep up because it means something to me. It's meaningful. Number one. Number two, I have it scheduled and I have it planned. And now I just feel like I have a responsibility because, I was saying this to you before we started this call today. I'm traveling right now in a time where nobody can travel. And I didn't get that until you get it when you get on a plane of 300 people and there's only 80 people in the plane, but I still didn't get it until I actually got here. And I'm like, I think I'm the only Canadian in Italy right now. Because I'm not even supposed to be here. It's not even like I
we
was
are
able to
live publicly on Facebook. So no.
Well, like saying like it's different. It's not just you buy a ticket and you can't just buy a ticket and come here right now. There's sanctions in place and things like that. So I'm feeling really like blessed and honored to be able to be here and travel. And I'm sharing the little experiences, even the funny things that are happening and the food and the whatever, the scenery. And I'm getting these messages back, and people are saying to me, keep up the video. We're living through your eyes. And I feel like I want to keep sharing that because I want people to feel good. If you can't travel and it's going to make you feel good because I made you hear the church bells, then I contributed to your life, then I've had a good day.
There you go. I love that. And we talk about the importance of consistency and how, I mean, it's funny because I talk about consistency a lot. I consistently talk about consistency just a little bit. But it is one of those things that and I've said this many, many, many times, it's so easy to say and it's so hard to do. And it's funny because you just literally went the opposite way. You're like, it's just easy now. Yeah. And I love though, because learning moment right there, learning moment for everybody. It's easy because A, you're passionate about it. B, because you scheduled it.
Yeah.
And now you've got a responsibility to hold up to that.
And this whole thing.
That right there can be, no. That right there can be that moment that says, hey, that's how I plug in. That's how I make it happen.
Listen, I mean, it blows my mind. Like, again, people want the results and they don't want to do the work. If you think you can, you can do your business without doing video, it's fine. You don't have to do it, right? But I've seen the benefit of implementing video and implementing stories and letting people get to know me. You say this all the time, David, to me, and I say this to people as well. Like, people have to know you, trust you, like you.
Yep.
Right? Somebody hears your name, oh, use this agent, she's amazing. And then the first thing they do is maybe they go to your website if you have one, but they go to Facebook, they go to Instagram, they go to social media, they go and check you out. And when they see things that you're doing and commonalities, video is the best way to get your personality across to people, whether you have a good one or not. I don't care what you look like. I don't like the way I look on video. That's the way you look.
That's right. That's what you sound.
That's what you look like.
Just do it.
And the best advice you ever gave me around video was done is better than perfect.
That's right.
I tell people all the time, I don't want to do video because then I don't like the way I sound. Shoot the thing and send it. Don't even watch it. Like, don't even watch it.
You know it.
Okay. And once you get I remember the first one, because it's not just shooting a video, right? Like, I got to shoot it. I got to edit it. I got to put the captions in. I got to make sure it fits for the different formats and stuff. The first time I sat and I had this whole thing that you sent me of like, hey, this is how you do step 1, step 2. And I was like, oh,
now that you've done it. You've done it because you put in the effort.
But now I know. And just so you know, David, it doesn't take me as long as it takes you. Maybe that's because I'm a
woman. What do they say about the teacher and the this and the that, whatever? Anyways,
I got to go to the beach. My time is limited.
Easy now. So this is, okay, here. So, looking at your business, and when we look at where the majority of business comes from, and you just really touched on it when you said, know you, like you, trust you. But where does it, just for everybody here, because again, with a lot of people listening and tuning in, be it on the live show and in the playback, iTunes, wherever, are you getting most of your biz from people you know or people you don't know? When we talk about, hitting more than 50% of the goal and the business that you built over the years and the connections that you made, where does most of it come from?
So most of it, the stats will be interesting this year, David, when we look at them. But most of the business that I've had up until now has come from people that I know. And that's also because I spent a lot of time. Like, I have 89 clients on my winning team. I've sold over 600 homes since I've been in the business, but I have 89 cheerleaders. And those are the people that I'm constantly in communication with, that I send things to. I don't, it's not just a panettone at Christmas time. It's like constant communication. They know what's happening in the market. I'm always in their face. I'm calling, visiting, using all the different ways to communicate with them. And that's where I know every year, because I've been tracking this year over year, is I can get 10 to 15 transactions out of those people guaranteed every year, but I do more. Right. So this year, I think I've gotten a lot of referrals since I've been here from people that I don't know that now know I'm in Italy.
Referrals from somebody that you do know.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. Okay. And then a couple of people that have just organically reached out because they've seen me on social media and now they've been following my journey and they know that I'm in Italy and I also work in Canada. And so there have been a few people that have reached out and said, I'm thinking I'd be interested in buying a property in Italy. Can you reach out? So now that part of the business, which is not a majority of my business, but that's coming from, people that I don't know, but I'm also building, like you say, mind share, right? Mm-hmm. Like people are starting. First, they're like, they look at me and they see what I'm doing and they think, oh, she's interesting and that's fun. And oh, she's in Italy and oh, the church and the beach and so then they start following, but then I'm also giving them value. I'm giving them information about who I am and I'm trying to earn their trust. And once you earn their trust and they know you, then it's people that you know. So, traditionally in my business anyway, mm-hmm. Probably 90% of my businesses come from my sphere of influence mm-hmm. or, in one way or another, either directly or through referrals. Right.
Okay. So, and that's because you are consistently building mindshare. Right. Yeah. And I mean, again, yes.
And that's scheduled too.
Love saying that, but that's where I was going with that. Right. When we talk about, the effectiveness of the effectiveness. Okay, so I'm getting business from people I know, but now it's we're seeing a shift or an increase in the people we don't know coming through, be it from a referral or somebody who just taps into what we're up to, because we are consistently building mind share and doing it through effort, right? And I want to make that very, very clear because the video is effort, the editing is effort, the time involved is effort. The social media is effort. The stories are effort. The sharing the fact that you're going to the beach or the car or wherever you are, what you're doing, it is effort because we could simply keep the phone in our pocket, which regardless, many of us probably would rather do. But in the day and age that we're in right now, it's important to put in that effort because as you're doing that, it's a lot of organic. It's a lot of just effort. And in fact, I guess a question that just comes to mind right now is, are you spending money running ads to generate your online presence, or are you just putting in effort?
Not a penny. Not a penny. And no, not a penny. It's effort. And you know what, David? It's not even effort because, again, it's the thing that's motivating me because my business right now is all about my why, right? I mean, I live to serve people. I want people to see their greatness. I want to make a difference in people's lives. And when it's normal for me, if something happens, it's so easy. Like the story thing in the beginning, it's an effort because anytime you start something new, you got to figure it out. And I got to remind myself, I got to remember to post stuff 5 times a day on, or whatever it is on stories. Now I'm going about my day and I see something and I think, oh, that's cool. And as soon as I think that's cool, then, oh, maybe somebody else will think it's cool. Let me do a little video or let me take a picture. And they laugh at me here because they call me the story lady, right? Yeah. Or something will happen. They go, aren't you going to do a story? And I was like, yeah, actually I will do a story. But it's because I know when I'm communicating with people, there's a motive behind it. There's a reason. I want to bring value to people. It's not just I take a picture of my pasta because I want people to see that I'm eating pasta. You know what I'm saying? So
this is about letting people in, sharing who you are, and everybody's got to realize that. Like we get a lot, right? And I'm sure people ask you, but I'm not that interesting. I don't know why people want to hear about me. And the reality is we all have something of interest and we all live a life, and there are going to be people out there that are going to find commonalities in who you are and who they are and what you guys can talk about together. And so when you share those little things, and like you've done, you've brought people in, you've let them know about the travel, you let them know about the trip. This is not even necessarily about the real estate business or the future by design, the workshops. This is about Alex. And because David, it's about Alex, people tune in.
There are 58, I think it's 58,000. Is it 58,000 real estate agents in the Toronto Real Estate Board right now?
Number is low on that. I think we're closer to like 70 something, 76.
Okay. Well,
it's crazy.
So
that might be Ontario, but it's a lot.
The town I'm living in is like 56,000 people, but 56, 58, 75, whatever. Yeah. As soon as you get over 20, like that's your competition, right? So you're competing with 70,000 other people or 69,999 other people, and you need to distinguish yourself. And if when people say to me, well, I don't want to talk about I want to be private and I don't want to tell people about my private life. Don't you want people to know you? Like if people can't connect with you, they're not going to do business with you.
They're not going to connect.
And maybe, Yeah, and maybe you taking a picture of driving your kid to Little League is going to be, oh, her son plays Little League too, or you're doing your equestrian, or you're riding your horses on the weekend, and someone goes, oh my God, she rides horses too, and then that's the one thing that they find, and meanwhile we're all being like secret agents. People need to know you, and then if the only thing that's going to distinguish you is the fact that you're daughter's in the Girl Scouts too, and so is theirs, then that's what's going to have them call you. Why would you not share that with people?
But everybody tuned in. Remember something. This is not about you posing in front of some big house with a fancy car and a jet plane, right? This is not about that. This is not about that. This is about who you are. And to the Little League reference, that is me to a T. If you're watching my stories, you'll see I'm posting about baseball, I'm posting about hockey, I'm posting about my sports, my kids. I'm posting about all the fun. And then all of a sudden you'll see when I'm on stage or who my awesome guest is today on the podcast. And you get to see these things, but it's letting you in. Now, you can make a decision whether you want to be in or not. But at least I've given myself the opportunity to give you that opportunity. And if I don't do what I do, and when I say I mean all of us holistically, Alex, you, me, anybody tuned in, if I don't give that opportunity, then people don't also have the opportunity to reciprocate.
Absolutely.
Right. So,
Absolutely.
we've talked about prospecting and keeping up with your business while, you're out of town in Italy. How you're staying
for a minute.
Hey, yeah, how you do but the time management and everything. What advice do you have? I mean, what advice do you have for agents? Maybe somebody who just stepped into the business, like what should they do? Where should they be focusing their efforts right now?
Well, so in two places. First of all, before you do anything, you can't hit a target that you can't see. So you got to set some goals. Number one. And if I could give a piece of advice to new agents and seasoned agents, set goals, don't set limits. When I started in this business, I did my first deal in the third week of business. Third week, got my license June 6th, did my first deal 3 weeks later. Fifth month in, I had done 7 deals. And I remember this agent came into the office one time and said, you just started in the business. Agents don't usually do their first deal for the first 6 to 8 months. You've already done all these deals. Like, how did you do it? And I said, oh, they didn't tell me that. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. Right. So I didn't have other standards. So number one, set some goals. Number two, build, like you say, David, build mindshare. Like, people here in Italy, the trainer is telling all the new agents, he's telling them, you're new, so you got to go cold call and door knock, because they can do that here, and do open houses. And you got to go, because that's how you get new business. And I'm like, buddy, you're not going to like me, but I'm telling these guys the complete opposite. Pick up this thing. Pick up, how many contacts do you have in here? Guaranteed. Especially, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. Even if half of them are garbage, then whatever, there are other real estate agents, and you still have 600. And then of the 600, 400 of them already have a real estate agent in their family. Great. Now you got 200 left. You're going to do 200 deals? Every person knows 2 to 3 people that are going to buy or sell a house in a year. So that's 600 potential clients. Pick up your phone and go into your communities, the people that you know already, people that know you. They're the ones that are going to help you. They're going to want to help you. People want to help each other. So that would be where I would say to start. Okay.
So now I've been in the business 5 to 10 years. What advice would you give me then? Because now I want to go to the next one.
Same thing. Like whatever. Now you're just better at it. Now you're more effective. Now you don't have to worry about, because the new agent will say, well, I don't really have a lot of experience, so I kind of don't want them to know that I'm new. You know what I tell people? When you're new, you go to people and say, guys, you know what? I'm a new agent. I have an office of 80 or 120 or 1,000 people behind me that I can go ask the questions that I don't have the answer to. And I will ask, because most agents that have been in the business for a long time, they think, or they already know the answer. So they're not going to make sure. Number one. Number two, you're my only client. So all my time is for you. Right?
You know what? Honesty is the best policy, right? Tell them straight up, let them know how excited you are to work with them, how excited you are to work for them. It is my first deal. I'm going to give you everything I got.
Yeah, man. People
I got a wicked network behind me of people that
exactly.
can help me with it, right?
Exactly.
So now,
This
tell
is
me
not.
this. Yeah.
I was going to say, this is not, you're not a salesperson. Like the documents and the processes, they are what they are and they change anyway. So even if you master them, then they're going to change the forms and the MLS, Stratus and whatever the case may be. This is a relationship business. That's it.
Are the agents that you're coaching now in Italy, are the struggles and the challenges very just, I mean, it sounded like from a moment ago that you just brought up, but are the challenge and the struggles very similar?
They're exactly
different. It's the same thing, eh?
They're exactly similar. I mean, the only difference in Italy is Remax is the only brand in Italy that cooperates with other agencies. So if you're another company, like we have other companies here, Tecnocasa, Punto Casa, Gabetti, whatever they are, they take a listing and you as another agent can't go and bring them a buyer. So there's no cooperation. The second thing that's different is they don't have an MLS. So that's a huge crutch.
But Remax is using an MLS.
Remax uses their own MLS internal inside of Italy, but that's it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have, it's only agents that, it's only Remax agents listing. So if that guy's house is for, like, there's actually a for sale sign up right there that, I mean, the only way that you would know it's for sale is because there's a sale sign up there.
Wow.
And that's it. But the other challenges like, commission and, people not, the objection handling, exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally taking my training from Toronto and translating it into Italian and, they're leveling up.
That's amazing.
Leveling up for sure.
Yeah.
But same challenges. And, the one thing that I do want to share today here is, this country was like smashed by the pandemic. Right. If you guys remember back in, Milan, Lombardia was just closed, lockdowns, military outside. There's still curfew here. It's as of June 21st, it'll be gone. But when I got here, they had a curfew, 10 o'clock, then it went to 11 o'clock. Now it's midnight. But now restaurants are open, beaches are open. Everything is going to be open as of June 21st here. People still wear masks outside. You have to wear masks inside. I think they might be getting rid of that. But what I wanted to say is the beautiful thing about being here and what I'm really happy to share with people is it's coming. Lombardia, which was where Milan is, they were declared a white zone, which means they're like COVID free compared to a year and a half ago where it was like ground zero for this virus. And everything will come. Like I know back home, because I talk to people, my parents and my kids and my friends back home every day. I know that things are starting to move there too. So if anybody's got anything, like I'm talking to people and they're telling me that it's, oh my God, and when is it going to end and whatever. Listen, things have changed, but life is going to go on and life is going on. These guys are killing it right now in the office. They're doing like, I think 25 deals this week they did. There's 60 agents, right?
Wicked.
In Italy. So that's something that is like, everybody can look forward to as everything starts to open up. Like it's happening, right? It's happening and it's good.
It's it's definitely exciting. We just the sort of lockdown was lifted here in Toronto or on Ontario just the other day, so people are starting to get back out. It's stage one for sure. Roads are much busier. It's nice to see. For us with the kids, we're back on the baseball diamond. We'll be back on the diamond again tonight, which is exciting. And it's good for the kids. I mean, I heard from every one of my players the other day how excited they are just to be back together. Like it was so much fun to see each other. And it's. I think that little message of hope right there was absolutely key. So I'm curious as I watched the time here. My favorite question: how do you know it's been a successful day for you?
I know it's been a successful day for me when I made somebody cry.
Cry?
Yes, and I don't mean that facetiously. I share a lot about my life with people. I share intimate things about myself. I share about my struggles. I share about problems that I've had, that I'm having, and I'm real with people. And I think that's why people resonate so much with me, is because they know that I'm talking from my heart. I'm talking from my experience. I'm talking from my life. And when I share things with people, and, I'm tough too, right? Like I always tell people, if you don't want to accomplish a goal, then don't tell me.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me you want to do something, I'm holding you to that. Even if you told me in passing and you didn't ask me to be hold you accountable, like you're doing it. You said it. Don't say it around me if you don't want it to happen. So when I've made somebody cry is because I feel like, and I said it earlier, people are numb. Something that happened, with everything that's happened in the last year and a half, one good thing is that people have, I think, gotten back in touch with what really matters, what's really important. They've kind of pulled it back home, and hearts are bigger. People are starting to really get the importance of things. And if I can make somebody feel, like if I can have people feel, whether it's joy, whether it's sorrow, whether it's anger, whether it's frustration, and then just have them like express that and be real. I was showing my dream book to somebody the other day, and I just told her what it was. I said, this is what this is. And the reason that I'm here today is because of this little book. And that book pulled me out of a depression. I didn't create my dream book to make a course. I did it because I wanted to do one. And now, since 2009, it's been my lighthouse, my guiding force. And I showed her the book, and I said, like I was sharing earlier, and I have this book of all of my dreams and all of my dreams fulfilled. And this is my life. And I share this with people that I love. When I met my partner, I said, this is me. Here's this book. Take a look. This is what's important to me. And she started crying. And I was like, see, that's it. That's what I want. I want people to feel, because we think we have to be tough. We think we have to be strong. We think we have to be all of these things. And we don't have to be anything. We have to feel, because that's what we are. We're human beings. We're feeling people. We're human beings. We're not human doings.
I like this. It's once again another successful individual sharing what success looks like for her. And we did not hear a mention of a dollar, a penny, income, deals, money, nothing. This comes down to others. And guys, audience, my awesome audience, thank you. I really want you to resonate with when I ask this question every single show, because it's my favorite question to ask. And I believe that it is, one of the most important ones we can hear, because as we hear it consistently from, guest after guest after guest, of the way they answer, and everybody's got a unique answer. Everybody's got a different answer, but not a single person who has nailed success has brought up anything to do with money or number of deals. And I really want that to resonate with everybody. So although, there's been a ton of depth in this show today, just as we tune off, what's your, sitting in Sicily, Italy, looking back to everybody in Italy, looking back to your entire RE/MAX network, your realtor network across, the globe, looking back to everybody here in Canada, what's your one big message to the industry right now? What last words or tips, can you share with everybody? So everybody who's tuned in can, use that to help themselves get better. And of course, help themselves build more mind share.
To the industry, we have a responsibility. We're dealing with people, and we're dealing with the most intimate parts of their lives. We're in their homes. And I think that we need to be responsible about that and understand that we have an impact on people, and what we're doing is important. It's not a transaction. It's assisting somebody to get from one part of their life to the next part of their life, moving forward, maybe sometimes moving back. But to me, that's an honor and a privilege to be able to do that, to be able to affect and impact people's lives. So just to me, it would be, look at the people, look at the families, look at the children, look at the nucleus, and understand that you're being somebody that's facilitating a huge shift and change in their life. And that's not to be taken lightly. So by ourselves, and also to honor yourself for somebody that is able to do that. We don't give ourselves enough credit. And I think sometimes we get frustrated in this business because we're not really present to the impact that we're actually making on people's lives. So that would be what I would leave people with.
I think that's an important message. I like that a lot, actually. The impact that we are making on people's lives, and we really do play a major role. This is not milk and eggs. I say it all the time. We're talking about somebody's biggest asset of their entire life, and this is a very important role. So, I love that message, Alex. Where can people learn more about everything you're up to? I follow her on Instagram, but tell us about the Dream Book and the Future by Design workshop. Where can people go if they want to learn more?
So we're going to be actually, the next virtual Future by Design workshop, and it's all redesigned now because we've redesigned it from the Dream Book workshop, turned it into the Future by Design workshop, and there's some whole new parts to it as well, and some more in-depth stuff is happening on September 11th. From 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a 6-hour program. You want to get information on that. We're going to be doing all kinds of promoting and advertising about it on social media channels. So Alex Lombardi on Facebook, just ask Alex Lombardi on Instagram. You can watch me on YouTube, but just whether, face workshop or not, definitely, like David said, check the videos out because there's a lot of value in there too. And they're enjoyable. Just check it out on social media. They'll be able to see what's happening. And if they want to reach out to you to connect with me, then that's awesome too. I want to leave one message to everybody else though, that's watching, industry, not industry. It doesn't really matter. I can't believe that I'm here. I can't believe that I didn't think 15 years ago or 30 years ago 32 years ago, actually, when I created this, that it was actually going to happen. And that was because what I realized now was in the way was me. I have completely changed the way that I make decisions, the way that I view myself mostly. So get yourself out of your way. Whatever you think you can accomplish, I'll challenge you to reach out to me. I swear to God, I don't care what it is. We'll figure out a way to have it happen. Get yourself out of the way. That's the most important thing. And when somebody tells you to not to be a dreamer, tell them to shut up.
Wise words. I like the end of that. Everybody, make sure you catch her on Instagram. Just ask Alex Lombardi. Alex, thank you. This has been absolutely amazing. Seriously, I know the days are long out there. We made the lighthearted joke about finding more time in our days, but I know you're up way ahead of us, and I know that it's been I'm sure a long day already for you. So I thank you for letting us share the final hours of today with you, and for you bringing us all this insight from a completely different part of the world today. It's been amazing. And I thank you again for joining us on the Mindshare podcast.
You're welcome. It was an honor and a privilege. Thank you, David. Thank you guys all for checking this out and listening in.
You're either listening to this on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or Spotify. Or maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com. And while you're on my site, make sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle for Realtors. This is a 31-page ebook packed with a ton of tips and tricks for you. Plus, there's a ready-to-go 90-day social media content counter to help you build more mindshare so that you can get more market share. And if you want to talk personalized coaching, one-to-one coaching to help you get to your next level, just get in touch with me. We'll set up a free consultation call, learn more about what you're looking to achieve, and how we will help you do just that. Also, don't forget that our push to 100 is on. So please be sure to go to iTunes, subscribe to the show, rate us, and leave a review. And if you haven't yet, connect with me on Facebook at MindShare101 and on Instagram at DavidGreenspan101. I want to once again thank Kits Keep in Touch Systems for sponsoring today's episode. If you haven't checked us out yet, just go to my site, MindShare101.com, and click on Marketing. This has been another episode of the Mindshare Podcast. Thank you for tuning in.